Star Radio, Sunday Jazz Brunch. Walt Adams with you. Time for our Share the Journey segment with Living Resources, supporting people with disabilities throughout the region. I have the good fortune of being able to talk with Joe Morelli, Associate Executive Director of Operations at Living Resources. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Walt. Thank you for having me on.
You're involved with so many things regarding compliance and regulations and some of the requirements of the day-to-day business operations like IT, which is a very important part of the facilities.
Well, it's challenging but rewarding work, and I've been blessed to be there for 30 years and to really have lots of opportunity to learn new skills and to apply them really toward reaching our mission.
Right. You actually began as a DSP and a direct support person who is really the main connection to anyone who's getting services. And you started there, so you know it all from the ground up. And now, Associate Executive Director of Operations, you must have a great perspective as to how the whole operation works.
Well, I do, and that's a great blessing as well. I started as a DSP. I was in college, working part-time for Living Resources. And I remember my first day, and I'd already been trained, but the first day working with those we serve, we went out that day, we went to a disco, and seeing a couple staff standing next to a couple in a wheelchair. You know, I was watching what was going on, and the couple in a wheelchair were friendly, but the staff helped to lift up those individuals to help them to dance. And they supported them as they danced with one another. And the song ended, and they set them back down in their chairs. They held hands, and they were smiling and looking at each other. And I thought, now that's a rewarding job, and that's something that I can do. And it really only requires one thing, and that's compassion. That's
a great story. When asked, who's your best friend, they'll mention that DSP, so it's critically important.
It is a critically important role. And if we're doing our role to the utmost, the individuals we work with, they should trust us. We should have a positive relationship. But really at our best, we're really helping them to foster relationships with each other and with others in the community. One of the things that I want to kind of reflect on a little bit is working for a company like Living Resources, the individuals we serve, their families, they are our purpose. They're our mission. And with a company like ours, they are our soul. And the DSPs, the staff that provide that support, they are the heart of the corporation. And I loved when Elizabeth Martin came on, and she talked a little bit about that. And then she talked about the broader role of operations and finance and HR, and said that, you have the heart, but you really need all the body to really be effective. And as operations, that's what we're doing. We're doing everything we can to support that DSP so that they can do the best work that they can do serving the individuals and their families.
Once again, we're speaking with Joe Morelli, Associate Executive Director of Operations at Living Resources. Joe, you've kind of seen it all, 30 years of dedicating your life to helping people with disabilities. What would you say to someone who might be thinking about in working at Living Resources? Well,
the first thing I would say to them is look in your own heart. See if it's something that draws you, that's important for you. It's very rewarding. It's very challenging as well. And that, together, what we want to do is build a better world. And I hope that you would want to be part of that.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Joe. Much appreciated. And what a great legacy that you have and continued success at Living Resources.
Hey, thank you very much, Walt.
Joe Morelli, Associate Executive Director of Operations at Living Resources. For more information, go to livingresources.org. I'm Walt Adams. More music up next on Saratoga's Star Radio.